It's time for a little tea, and then it's time to go to a nappy poo, as they say. Beautiful place. Hopefully you can hear the stream in the background. But this is where I'm going to camp tonight. How cool is that? A 4-leaf clover. The Irish be upon me. Nice. So we're talking big trucks and little roads. Well, there's my next ferry ride. Back to the mainland, I guess you would call it. Anyhow, we're going to be leaving here in, I don't know, hour, whatever. About a 3-hour ride. Alright, so the bike is on board, and which is really nice about riding a bike, because you're first on board and you're first usually off. We're pretty close. But anyhow, if you can see that island way out there in the distance, that's where we're going. It's called Skye. And I'm hoping it's not as crowded as what they're saying it is, but it is what it is. So anyhow, we'll be starting that journey here shortly. So for those of you that don't know, I believe this is called the wheelhouse. And the reason for that is because the captain's got the wheel that steers this whole thing. So there you have a little nautical education. Okay, Hobo Rider back here with you, and I thought I'd start to show you where I've started my trip from here in Scotland, my first one. And here's where I started, here in Cooper, at Cooper Motorcycles. It's a Suzuki dealership, and that is where I bought my bike. And then from there, I traveled over here to this national park. I spent one night in the national park, and understanding that there's a tremendous amount of traffic on these roads, in particular camper vans and big campers. But from there, then I went up to Glencoe, and from Glencoe I took the Conan ferry across into this area right here, and I worked all of this area on my bike. but I found a beautiful place right about in here where I spent 2 nights on this gorgeous beach. But today I ended up going all the way up to Malag, I think is how it's pronounced. And tomorrow I'll be taking a ferry across to over into here, Skye, which I am told is wicked, wicked busy. Which that's not exactly exciting, but nonetheless, eventually, and maybe sooner than not, I will cross over into these far northwestern islands up here, which are supposed to be stunning. And there's also supposed to be a lot more wild camping there. So we'll see how it goes, but that's where Hobo Rider is at this point. And Hobo Rider looking back at you one more time. And thanks for following along, folks. Well, Mr. Zach, it doesn't get much better than this, that's for sure. I got myself a little spot on a little isolated beach, and sorry about the poor quality of the video, but nonetheless, you get the idea. I wish you were here, son. I miss you a lot. I love you even more. Okay? You take care of yourself. Okay, folks, this is my tent in the howling winds, probably a steady 35, gusting to 40. So it looks a little collapsed, but it's actually not. Anyhow, welcome to Scotland. Actually, this is, I forget where I'm at. I'll figure it out later. Okay, so here I am. My body is whooped, and I'm walking down this farmer's road, trying to find the farmer who actually owns the land where I'd like to pitch my tent tonight here in Scotland. And according to the law, you can do that, but I don't believe in doing that without trying to get permission. I mean, that's the way I was raised. But anyhow, going down this, me and the sheep in this lane. I haven't seen the sheep yet, they're up on the hill. But anyhow, this is Hobo Rider well, I'm not looking back at you, but I'm doing sometimes what I do best, I'm walking. Whoo-wee, I'm tired. This might be the last ride for this old guy. Shit, the bank went over here. Where the hell did he go? I don't know, man. He's gone now. Jim is here. He has landed.
Is it Utopia?
No, I think, I don't know, Utopia is probably not a correct word to use, but for me, what I see here, all right, and I see in people like you that do this kind of stuff, it's a passion.
Yes.
All right, and you have to, in order to be passionate about something, you have to have a dream about it.
To me, everything is about helping people. And, you know, if you can help somebody to make something easier and they can help you, then it's everybody wins. And that's the way it should be.
Can you help with the midge situation right now? Jesus.
The only thing I can The only thing that works with midges is I'm afraid, possibly going inside. That's.
Yeah, well, we're not there
No,
yet. So
we're not there
anyhow.
yet. So we'll just...
But I want to thank you immensely for giving us the opportunity to be able to meet you and be able to see the property and the beautiful aspects of the property. And I think we got one more thing to do. Is I want to walk out towards your gate post that you're putting in there, and we're going to talk about these little friendly people that you mentioned to me.
Yeah.
Chris, thanks a lot. And we out. Boom.
Perfect.
So let's
Thank
take a
you.
walk.
Cool. Let's do it.
So folks, let's take this journey to a conclusion here, and let's move over to the map. And what I'd like to be able to do is show you the total area that I actually rode in. So what do you say we just take a quick look at the map right now? All right, so as I said earlier, I wanted to show you on the map most of, well, actually not most, but all of my travels here on this particular journey in Scotland. And once again, we started right here at Cooper, at the Cooper motorcycle dealership. And then, as I stated earlier, went into this national park, stayed there, absolutely gorgeous place. And then from there, worked my way all the way over here in this area right here, where I took the ferry across into this island that I showed you earlier, and worked all of this area on the motorcycle. And then from there, crossed up again into Skye, which was incredibly busy, and I didn't spend a lot of time there, but nonetheless, I got all the way up to this point where you couldn't go any further. And then I took a ferry ride back up here to this far northwest island and worked my way through all of this area all the way up to what they call the Butt of Lewis. From that point, I couldn't continue to stay in the winds that were up there because the winds were incredible. There's no trees here. It's all very barren area, and I asked the people, I says, well, what do you do when you live here? And apparently most of the people that live up in this area work in the offshore oil rigs. So anyhow, it was pretty, very pretty. And then I took another ferry back across to, I guess you'd call it the mainland, and started working some of this area again, and eventually ended up here where I did the project on the oil rigs, and then worked my way back down, all the way back down to Cooper. That was, well, it was over 30 days and about 2,700 kilometers or 1,600 miles approximately. And got back here at David's place just in time for the rain to start. So it worked out really, really well. So I thought I'd just take this opportunity to show you the actual areas that I rode on this particular map. So with that, we'll bring this whole thing to a close, and I thank you for following, people. Well, folks, I'd like to bring this particular trip to a conclusion, but I'd like to thank you for following along on my journey. I also apologize if you can hear any of the drunkenness in the background, but that's Vietnam and it goes on forever. Regardless of that, I want special thanks to David at Suzuki Cooper Motorcycles there in Cooper, Scotland, because without David and his incredible help, this journey would have never happened. So if you ever get a chance to stop in Cooper there in Scotland at the Suzuki dealership, please do so and say hi to the wonderful people there, in particular David. Additionally, I'd like to say or shout out a great big thanks to Chris and his little piece of heaven that you got to see towards the end of this particular journey. Wonderful man and a wonderful, wonderful place. If you ever get a chance to stop there and pitch a tent, I highly, highly recommend it. So with that, folks, I want to say thank you again for following along with Hobo Rider. Really not sure what the next plan is, although I do know that I will be leaving Vietnam here and I'll be heading over to New Zealand again and hopefully be able to finish the ride that I started last year that I got blown out of. So anyhow, folks, this is Hobo Rider looking back at you, and I want to shout out a great big thanks for you folks that follow along on my channel, because it makes it all worthwhile. And I like having you on my journey. Thanks again, folks. It's Hobo Rider looking back at you one more time.